We'll try another shot and see what I leave this time. A different particular kind of spare. Now I'm going to try to make the ball cross over the head pin like what we call a Brooklyn shot. Now I've left another very, very common lead. For a left-hander, the 5 and the 8. For a right-hander, it would be the 5 and the 9. That's caused by the ball crossing over the head pin and deflecting and naturally not going into the 5 pin. Now, what we have to do here, again, is make a very slight adjustment on the approach. Now, watch carefully, and I'll show you how to cover this particular spare. Instead of moving left, as I did last time, to make the ball go to the right, I'm going to move to the right slightly with my feet to make the ball go naturally to the left. So I'm going to move 2 boards on the approach to the right with my feet using the same target to get the ball to go between the 5 and the 8 pin. Now, the reason that I had to make an adjustment on the approach, even though it looks like it's a strike ball shot, is because if you look at the diagram again, you'll see that the 5 and the 8 pin are farther back in relationship to the lane than the 1 and the 2. So as the ball is hooking into the pocket, if I threw the same ball as my strike ball, it would hook in front of it, leaving the 8 pin. So naturally, I want the ball to come in a little wider and come between the 5 and 8, so I move my feet to the left to make the ball come from a wider angle into the pocket. The 5-8 pocket instead of the 1-2 pocket. Okay, now we're going to show you some spares that are a little more difficult to make. The corner pins, which seems to be the nemesis of most bowlers, amateur, beginner, professional, all alike. Now what I mean by more difficult spares is quite obvious, because there are a lot of people get very nervous when they have to shoot at a spare that's on the edge of the lane near the channel, because obviously you don't want the ball to go in the channel. And as you saw earlier in my demonstration of the 2 bowling balls, 1 on each side of the pin, that's not there anymore. You've only got the width of the ball and the pin now to knock that pin down. So you don't have both sides to hit. You've cut your target area by a little over a third, which is quite a drastic cut. So what we're going to have to do is be very careful that the ball doesn't go in the channel and still follow through to our target so that we get the ball to the pin. We'll show you how to do that right now. Now, to shoot the corner pins, cross lane, you want to use as much of the lane as possible. Keep the ball in play at all times. Now, obviously, if you go down the edge of the lane, it's very difficult to keep the ball in line, so you want to use as much of the lane as possible. So you can see I've moved my feet all the way to the right-hand side of the approach, the opposite side the pin's on. What I'm doing now is drawing a direct line from that pin over the 4th arrow, the center arrow on the lane, to my shoulder. So my feet then are on a direct line. I can walk to my target, square my shoulders, go straight through the ball, and make the ball knock down the corner pin. Now remember, you don't have to throw a lot of ball or a lot of hook. You just have to hit the 1-pin spare. That's all that's necessary. Make the ball go where you want it to go without a lot of turn and lift. Just a nice, relaxed, smooth swing like this. And you make your spare. Now we'll try the other side of the lane, the 10-pin, which is a little more difficult for right-handers, a little easier for the left-hander. All right, now our spare this time is on the opposite side of the lane, so we want to move to the opposite side of the approach. Clear to the left side. We're using this time the 3rd arrow from the left-hand channel. We'll count them in 1, 2, 3. Make a direct line from the pin back over there to our shoulder, just like we're pointing our finger. Line the shoulder up with that target. Again, face the target. Relax, relax, nice and easy, but you get a nice relaxed swing and follow through to your target. Right at it. Very simple if you do it right. And if you pay attention, I know you can do it. This is what it looks like from the right-hand side. What I meant by more difficult spares is what I'm going to show you right now. This is a very common leave for both right-handers and left-handers. For the right-hander, it's the 5-7. For the left-handers, it's the 5-10. This is caused when the ball is a little bit behind the head pin or late into the pocket, as we call it, or maybe the ball isn't driving sufficiently enough. You didn't really get that good lift on the ball to make it drive in and take the 5-pin out, so you've left with the pocket split, the good old 5-10 or 5-7. Now, we're going to show you how to make this spare. We're going to show you how to stand. We'll give it a try right now. Again, because you want the ball, because the 5-pin is farther down the lane, you want the ball to go farther down the lane or at a wider angle before it breaks to the pin. It's farther down the lane than the pocket is what I'm saying. Now, so I'm going to stand with my feet about 2 boards to the right of my normal strike ball. I use my same strike target, making the same release I would throw a strike ball, nice and relaxed, and hopefully we'll make the 5-10. Like that. Now, if you do it right, every time, just like we showed you there, those spares get just as easy as the 1-pinners. Let's look at that from the other side. Now again, another very common leave caused by just a slight miscalculation in your release or something of that nature. Maybe you dropped the ball, slipped off your hand a little bit. A lot of things can go wrong because we're not all perfect, that's for sure. You might leave this, what we call a washout. In other words, the ball comes in from here, hits the 2-pin very direct, takes out the 2, the 4, the 5, the 8, the 9, and the 10, and you end up with the 1, 3, 6, 7. Very difficult spare. For a right-hander, it would be the 1, 2, 4, 10. All the other pins are gone, so the idea is, for me, as a left-hander, to have the ball cross over, hit between the 1 and the 3, the ball then taking out the 3 and the 6, the 1 pin going over to knock out the 7. That's what we're trying to do. Naturally, for the right-handers, the 1 would take out the 10 unless you crossed over this way. Now, let's give it a try and see what happens. Again, it's a very slight adjustment because all I'm going to have to move here from my normal strike position is about 2 boards on the approach, still using my strike target, which is the 2nd arrow. What I want the ball to do, as I pointed out on the chart, is to cross over to the right-hand side of the head pin, making the 1 pin go into the 7 pin. Same nice relaxed approach, stroke the ball right over my target. This is what it looks like from the right-hand side. If you execute the shot properly, remember to be relaxed, stroking the ball through your target as you walk and face your target line. Good things happen. You make those spares, they add pins to your average, you enjoy the game a lot more, and that's what we want to do, is enjoy the game.